This is contained in a condolence message made available to newsmen in Abuja on Tuesday by the Director of Press and Public Relations in the Ministry, Mrs. Folashade Boriowo. The minister described Junaidu as a visionary leader and champion of education, whose dedication and passion made a lasting impact on the sector. The minister prayed for the repose of Junaidu's soul and comfort for his loved ones during the difficult time. Junaidu died in the early hours of July 25 in Damaturu, Yobe State, where he was attending the Joint Consultative Committee on Education Program. Media entrepreneurs and practitioners on Tuesday expressed concern about the survival of the media in the current ever-changing landscape. They spoke at the just concluded Lateef Jakande Annual Memorial Lecture 2024, organized by the Nigerian Guild of Editors in Lagos on Tuesday, with the theme, Rapidly Changing Media Landscape, Media Survival Strategies. Speaking at the lecture, the chairman this day, Arise Media Group, Mr. Nduka Baigbena, called for a change in media law for media to survive in the current landscape, such as intellectual property will be regarded as an asset. Calling on media owners to be prepared for artificial intelligence, AI, the publisher said there was need for education and good governance for media to survive, highlighting that the world was now being driven by technologies and AI. Obagbena said that AI had also been promoting journalism and making the society a better place, hence media entrepreneurs are to benefit for its advantages. Also speaking, the managing director of Punch, Joseph Adeleye, urged media practitioners not to be lost or trapped in the past, noting that AI should not be a threat to journalism, but a tool that can be used positively to advance the course of a profession. Many eminent journalists, professionals, and media owners took turns to profile solutions and a way forward for the survival of media in an ever-changing landscape. Appreciating the Nigerian Guild of Editors on behalf of a family, Jakande's first son, Deji, said that their father's name had always become a challenge to them, assuring that the children would not disappoint Nigerians. The 82 Division of the Nigerian Army has distributed relief materials to victims of an inter-communal clash between the Effium and Ezza communities in the Awuku local government area of Ebonyi State. This gesture is aligned with the efforts of the military to build and enhance its relationship with the civilian population and give succor to the victims.
The relief materials include bags of rice, tomato paste, and vegetable oil, among others. The beneficiaries and town union presidents of both communities expressed gratitude to the military for the gesture, which they describe as the first of its kind.
I'm here to thank God for what is happening here.
I just give thanks to God for what happened today, because since 2021 we have not seen this. So, and I want to thank Commander of Cantonment, ENUGU.
Chairman of Ohauku local government area, Ikechukwu Odono, thanked the military for the visit and the accompanying palliatives. He assured the Effium and Ezza communities of the determination of the state government to restore permanent peace to the area.
I told before now that it's only the politicians that do this kind of thing. But today, I've seen that also the military too. So I want to thank you, to thank the Major General, the GOC, for this wonderful gift to the Ezza and Effium community. And I want to tell my people that the governor of Ebonyi State, our governor, Right Honorable Builder Francis Ogbonnamwefuro, is doing everything within his power to make sure that peace return in Effium.
The cantonment commander, Nkwegu, military cantonment Lieutenant Colonel Audu Bako, who represented the general officer commanding the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, ENUGU, said the gesture is to cushion the effects of the crisis in the area.
We are in this community to ensure lasting peace. Go back there, tell everyone to embrace peace. If you have any issues, we are here through thick and thin, 24 hours. No one should take laws into his hands. If you are aggrieved, go to the constituted authority and lay your complaints. We don't want the issue of this person attacking one and the other will go for retaliation.
Lieutenant Colonel Bako maintained that the military remains neutral in the crisis and urged the two warring communities to embrace peace as the only way to guarantee development in the area. The relief materials include bags of rice, tomato paste, and vegetable.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has awarded a vigilant group in Kwali Area Council for rescuing 4 kidnapped victims. The reward included an operation vehicle and undisclosed cash gift to encourage the group to do more. The rescued victims were presented to Wike at Keita Gembu, a community in Kwali, on Tuesday when he visited the area to inspect an ongoing road project. The minister commended members of the vigilante group for the display of bravery and courage, stating that the operation vehicle and the undisclosed amount of cash gifted to them was to motivate them to do more in tackling insecurity in their communities. He urged residents of FCT to work with the FCT administration to ensure that criminal elements and their evil activities are eliminated in the territory. Wike explained that the railroad road projects across the 6 area councils of the FCT were part of President Bola Tinubu's efforts towards boosting economic activities in the railroad areas, and urged the residents to support ongoing efforts by the current government to improve the livelihood of railroad dwellers rather than supporting the August 1 planned protest by selfish individuals. Commenting on the kidnap, Chairman, Kwali Area Council, Danladi Chia, explained that they were abducted from their homes in Kuje Area Council before being taken into Kwali Forest by the kidnappers, and assured all vigilante groups in the area council of continued support to enable them to support security agencies in tackling the menace of kidnapping in communities. The approval given by President Bola Tinubu for the sale of crude oil to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery in Naira is going to force the prices of domestically refined petroleum products to crash. Oil marketers, refiners, and experts who bear their mind on the issue commended the move by the president, stating that it will boost the outputs of domestic refineries, shore up the country's foreign exchange reserves, and strengthen the Naira. They also hailed the media for always putting the matter on the front burner, stressing that Nigerian refineries should not continue to struggle to get the United States dollar to procure a commodity that is produced in the country. President Tinubu had on Monday directed the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to sell crude to the Dangote Refinery and other upcoming refineries in Naira. Dangote Refinery has been embroiled in a crude oil supply crisis with the international oil companies operating in Nigeria. Later, it had some confrontations with the country's midstream and downstream regulator. The Special Advisor to the President on Revenue and Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adedeji, says the decision of the federal government on sale of crude in Naira will save the country an estimated $7.3 billion annually. Adedeji, while justifying why President Tinubu ordered the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to sell crude in Naira, noted that the decision would reduce foreign expenditure by roughly $660 million on a month-on-month basis. The FIRS boss stressed that a move by the president will cut down on Nigeria's heavy reliance on foreign exchange for crude oil imports, which accounts for roughly 30 to 40% of its forex expenditure. Recall that Tinubu, in a significant move on Monday, ordered NNPCL to sell crude to the Dangote Refinery and other local refineries in Naira. The move comes amid the crude supply crisis Dangote Refinery is grappling with in the oil and gas sector. Youths under the aegis of Akure Youth Forum have threatened to recall a member of the House of Representatives during Adesida APC Akure South, Akure North over alleged non-performance. The group, in a statement on Tuesday in Akure by its leader, James Adebowale, said the recall became necessary for the failed representation. The youth said that Adesina had failed to bring the dividends of democracy to the constituency, alleging that the lawmaker had failed to execute or embark on meaningful projects and to empower the youths and women in the area. They stated that some of the developmental projects embarked upon by the former lawmakers from the constituency did not receive the lawmakers' attention, noting that the construction of a new town hall initiated by former lawmaker Honorable Afe Oluwo Kekere has been abandoned. The youth said that it will mobilize people to sign a recall notice of a lawmaker if things remain unchanged in the next 30 days. Reacting to the allegations, legislative aide to the lawmaker, Femi Fasa, described the Korea Youth Forum as a faceless group, noting that the group was being sponsored by some politicians. 15 lawmakers under the aegis of Economic Rescue Group are calling on the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, to resign, accusing him of being responsible for the woes being recorded by the administration of President Bola Tinubu. In a press statement signed in Abuja on Tuesday, the leader of the group, Esosa Iyawe, who represents a Redo federal constituency in the House, said that Kyari should be suspended pending the outcome of a joint investigation by the House Joint Committee on Petroleum, Downstream and Midstream. Lawmakers urged the president to wield the big stick as well as take a look at the presence of middlemen in trading, indiscriminate issuance of licenses, unavailability of laboratories to check adulterated products, and the influx of adulterated products into the country, among other infractions. They frowned at the endless shifting of timelines for the rehabilitation of refineries, nefarious activities at petrol depots, which have affected product distribution and caused scarcity, and the use of middlemen in trading, which has negatively affected domestic crude supply. Iyawe recently moved a motion in the Green Chamber calling on the federal government to suspend the CEO of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, pending investigation into his remark about quality of petroleum products at Dangote Refinery. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Tuesday continued the interrogation of a chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Malam Jalab Arabi, over alleged mismanagement of 2024 Hajj Exercise Fund. Arabi was at the office of the Anti-Graft Agency to answer questions on how the Commission spent the 90 billion subsidy for the exercise. Signature TV learned that there were petitions against the chairman and the Commission and management over alleged funds mismanagement, especially during the 2024 Hajj exercise, for which 3 directors from the Commission have been invited to explain what they know about the issue. When contacted, the spokesman for EFCC, Dele Oyewale, promised to revert to our correspondent over their invitation and other details, which was yet to do as at the time of filing this report. Arabi, at a news briefing on Monday, gave the breakdown of how the Commission spent the 90 billion subsidy, where he said that each pyramid was supported with 1,637,369 naira from the 90 billion, except for pilgrims under the Hajj Savings Scheme, who enjoyed more. The federal government has activated the National Emergency Operations Center to coordinate responses and provide timely support to victims of floods and public health concerns. The Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, Zubaida Umar, disclosed this at the National Emergency Coordination Forum held on Tuesday in Abuja. The forum brought together stakeholders to review the current flood situation and strengthen mitigation and response strategies across Nigeria. Speaking at the event, Zubaida said the center would share information, provide timely support to affected areas, collate to analyze flood incident data, and ensure that emergency responses were as accurate as possible, while expressing hope that a step together with those of other stakeholders would reduce to the barest minimum the impact of flooding. She highlighted the agency's ongoing efforts to address the predicted 2024 flood disaster by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) and the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency (NISA). On his part, Mr. Tron Jensen, head of United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in Nigeria, commended NEMA for its leadership in disaster preparedness and emphasized the importance of efficient resource use and anticipatory action to address cholera outbreaks, with urgent collaboration among all stakeholders to enhance emergency response capabilities. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, says the federal government is determined to increase modern contraceptive prevalence rate, MCPR, to meet the Family Planning 2030 commitment target of 27%. Pate made the government's stance known at a one-day family planning stakeholders accountability meeting organized by the Association for the Advancement of Family Planning in Abuja, represented by Dr. Binyarin Okairi. The Director of Family Health, Federal Ministry of Health, Pate said that the meeting was part of the FP 2030 Accountability Framework piloted in Nigeria project. He noted the role of family planning in achieving universal health coverage and reducing maternal and child mortality, stressing the need to ensure access to FP products and services to women of reproductive age. He also reiterated government's commitment towards improving healthcare services, particularly at the sub-national level and databases of family planning service delivery for decision-making. The Special Advisor to the President on Senate Matters, Senator Bashir Lado, says the prompt signing of a minimum wage bill into law demonstrates President Bola Tinubu's love for Nigerian workers. Lado, who made this known in a statement in Abuja, added that the signing of a bill further demonstrated that the President was a man of his words. He said the President has also ensured that there is a provision in the Minimum Wage Act which now makes it mandatory to review the national minimum wage every 3 years, as against 5 years in the Amendment Act. This, he said, shows that workers' take-home pay will continue to take them home under the present administration, saying that the President deserves a commendation of all for staying true to his promise. Lado also commended Nigerian workers for their resilience and contribution to nation building over the years and urged them to put in more effort in the delivery of effective services for the growth and development of the nation. A few hours after the Imo State Police Commissioner, Aboki Danjuma, held a crucial stakeholders meeting, yet to have identified gunmen have killed 4 police officers and 1 female point-of-sale operator. The police commissioner, who confirmed the incident, ordered the command's tactical unit to go all out in collaboration with other sister agencies to hunt down the hoodlums responsible for the attack. The incident occurred on Monday along the Owerri-Onitsha Expressway, where the operators were on routine patrol at Irete were ambushed by the attackers. In a press statement issued by the spokesperson of the command, Henry Okoye, it disclosed that the 4 officers were killed during a gun battle between the police and the attackers. It said a police commissioner, on receipt of the report, immediately mobilized to the scene for an on-the-spot assessment for the ugly incident, where the lifeless bodies of the deceased were evacuated and deposited at a mortuary for preservation, while the injured victim was rushed to a nearby hospital where he is currently responding to treatment. The release further disclosed that the police commissioner expressed sadness over the unfortunate incident and vowed that the command would leave no stone unturned in ensuring that the perpetrators were all arrested and brought to justice. Satellite images show water infrastructure before and after strike in Rafah. Venezuelan police hits and detains protesters, use tear gas. These and more stories after this short break. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq stumbled to close lower on Tuesday, July 30th, weighed down by weak chip and mega cap shares ahead of earnings from heavyweight tech companies this week. But the Dow managed modest gains. Microsoft, seen by many as leading the artificial intelligence race, fell ahead of its quarterly results due after the closing bell. Chip maker NVIDIA, regarded as a prime beneficiary of potential AI growth, and the year's second-best S&P 500 performer, tumbled, weighing on other chip stocks and the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. Other mega-cap names such as Apple, Amazon.com, and Meta Platforms were all due to report earnings this week. Amazon and Meta shares fell, while Apple managed a slight gain on growing concerns that the stocks might be overvalued. Among single stocks, Procter & Gamble tumbled almost 6% after missing fourth quarter sales expectations. The S&P 500 lost 27.10 points, or 0.50%, to end at 5,436.44 points, while Nasdaq Composite lost 222.79 points, or 1.28% to 17,147.42. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 203.40 points, or 0.50%, to 40,743.33. Satellite images provided by Master Technologies show water infrastructure before and after strike in Rafah. Gaza City has lost nearly all its water production capacity, with 88% of its water wells and 100% of its desalination plants damaged or destroyed, Oxfam said in a recent report. Salama Shurab, head of the water networks at Khan Yunis municipality, said the wells were destroyed by Israeli forces between July 18 to 27 in the southern towns of Rafah and Khan Yunis. Israeli military did not respond to the allegations that his soldiers had touched the wells. Palestinians were already facing a severe water crisis as well as shortages of food, fuel and medicine before the destruction of the wells, which has deepened the anguish brought on by the Gaza war, now in its 10th month. The war started on October 7 when Hamas, the Palestinian military group ruling Gaza, killed 1,200 people in Israel, according to Israeli tallies, and took another 250 or so to hold as hostages in Gaza, one of the most crowded places on earth. Israel's retaliatory offensive has killed more than 39,000 people and bombed much of Gaza, where functioning hospitals are scarce into rubble, Gaza health authorities say. Police detained about a dozen young opposition supporters after participating in a demonstration in Caracas on Tuesday, July 30. Reuters video shows an officer kicking an individual before taking a group away into motorcycles and vans. Police also fired tear gas at civilians. The demonstrators were leaving a rally where opposition leader Maria Corina Machado asked her supporters not to engage in any violent acts, even if they were attacked by government allies. Protesters took to streets throughout Venezuela on Tuesday, waving flags and demanding President Nicolas Maduro acknowledge he lost Sunday's July 28 election to an opposition that says they clinched a landslide victory. Canadian officials reported on Tuesday, July 30, that the outlook for the country's wildfires has improved as temperatures cool the rainfalls on affected areas. Nearly a third of Jasper's structures were destroyed when massive wildfire, with flames burning 100 meters high, hit the popular Alberta tourist town last week. All fires in the town are now extinguished, but blazes continue to burn throughout Jasper National Park, and there's still no timeline for when residents can return home. Kano Holdings donates jerseys to last month football teams. This is more sports stories after the break. Tuesday in Lagos donated jerseys to the male and female football teams of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority. The General Manager of LASMA, Olalekan Bakiroki, said this in a statement signed by Director of Public Affairs and Enlightenment Department of LASMA, Taufik Adebayo. Bakiroki said the donation was aimed at supporting the team's participation in various sporting activities and expressed gratitude to Kanu Holdings for their generous donation. Manager Kanu Holdings, Parik Joel, in a statement, highlighted the importance of sports and fostering teamwork, discipline and healthy lifestyle, noting that Kanu Holdings is a diversified conglomerate with interest in various sectors, including real estate, manufacturing and sports development. That's the news. Barik Mado is my name. Thank you very much for watching.